I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom Health and Wellness series. We are always on the lookout and always it's our objective to provide you information that's cutting edge, breaking, and information you need to know that you'll never get through the medical industrial complex, which is why I'm very honored to have back with me someone who is a very dear friend. Every time he comes on our radio show, we get incredibly positive feedback, and I thought, you know what? Why just limit Brett to a radio appearances? Let's get him on the video series. So here we go. For those of you not familiar with Brett Bashawati, he took over as CEO of Good Herbs in 2005, expanded the company's vision, and Brett truly is a visionary, having worked with him for many years, by developing My Total Nutrition. With over 40 years of experience in product development and manufacturing, Brett has played a very pivotal role in advancing natural health products. As the co-founder of Good Herbs in 1992, Brett has worked with some of the world's leading holistic doctors, and he's focused on science-based, clinically verified products. Brett's dedication to research and innovation is further highlighted by his work on a clinical trial assessing the effectiveness of the keto diet. The information, operationfreedomhealth.com. Tremendous amount of information there. And today I want to focus on how nutrition and herbs can transform our lives. Brett, welcome to the Operation Freedom Health and Wellness series.
Thank you, Dr. Janda. Great to be here today.
Okay, Brett, let's hit it. You are one of the country's, if not the country's expert on nutrition and herbal support. Educate our listeners on what they'll never get through the bought-off lamestream fake media or through the medical industrial complex.
Yeah, sure. So I've been in the industry for over 40 years. I can't believe it. And my big background, my focus for a majority of that time was herbal recipes, and we really focused on herbal extracts. And one of the reasons we focused so much on herbal extracts is what we saw back in the late 80s, even 90s, and then it really shaped in the mid 90s, is a lot of people had digestive issues. Mm-hmm. And when I would take an herbal supplement, let's say it was in a capsule, let's say it was turmeric, which is a very powerful and very well-known herb. When I take that, that's still a solid, and I was dependent on my digestive system to break it down into a liquid, so then it could pass through the soft tissue villi in the small intestines into our blood system to work, as everyone pretty much knows, it's an anti-inflammatory product. Mm-hmm. The problem is if my digestive system's all messed up, mm-hmm. I get very little to no benefit of that product. So back in the early 90s, we developed a company that was very focused on herbal extracts, mm-hmm. because they're pre-digested. They are able to enter into the blood system without the utilization of the digestive system. So we could get more for our dollars, if you want to say, and get the benefits of those herbs. Then I was kind of going along, and we were an herb company, like I said, most of my journey. But what I was seeing is so many of my brothers and sisters that were herbalists, that took herbs, ate organic, did all their herbal products, were really suffering. Mm-hmm. And mm-hmm. they were dying really young still. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of scratched my head. And this is when we kind of teamed up with Dr. Wallach 10 years ago. And we married nutrition mm-hmm. with herbs. With that nutrition, it was so important because the body needs, everyone knows the life force of the human body is minerals. Mm-hmm. And every one of these nutritional elements that we provide for you has those minerals. Plus, it also is going to have your amino acids, your vitamins, and in our essential fatty acids, which we have special capsules for. And when we put those together, we really, really saw great benefits and quadruple the effectiveness on people. So I did, and I got a great story, and I know, Dr. Janda, you have a great testimonies with this as well. But I was born with a digestive disorder. I was the most constipated baby you've ever saw, and I was miserable. I would go for a week, 2 weeks without having a bowel movement. And with my background and being in the industry since 1982, I was able to talk to and interact with hundreds, if not thousands, of holistic doctors throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very interesting is I could manage my symptoms, but I never corrected my symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So as long as I was taking a whole bunch of colon support,
Mm-hmm.
to make me go regular, I had to take a whole bunch of probiotics.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a whole bunch of enzymes with every single meal. And if I did that, I could manage the symptoms and I was fine. And if I didn't do that, my constipation would come right back and it would be miserable. And it wasn't until when I met Dr. Wallach a long time ago now, he goes, "Boy, you're deficient in two things." And I said, "Well, what's that?" Because I've been dealing with this for 40 years of my life. And he goes, "Salt and calcium, salt and calcium." I'm like, no way, this guy's crazy. I've talked to the best. and so I went and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And here's what I did is I took high-powered calcium magnesium product, what's called OsteoFX, probably my very favorite product on Operation Freedom Health. And I took 4 doses of it. So I was going to saturate my body with calcium. And then I salted my food to taste. So this is all I did. I changed my diet, but my diet was pretty good. I've pretty much eaten organic all my life. And I still had this huge digestive problem. Within less than 90 days, my 40-year battle was completely gone. I have now over 10 years, I do not take any colon support. I take no more digestive enzymes with meals. And I take no more extra probiotics that's not in the foundation pack. And truly, what I was lacking is the hydrochloric acid in my stomach was too elevated. And then you need the calcium because your chief cells are dependent on calcium to squirt that hydrochloric acid into the stomach juices. Once that was corrected, my whole life changed. And I'm like, holy cow, herbs, nutrition go hand in hand together. Mm-hmm. And we get amazing results like this every single day.
Well, and I can testify as well, right? As you well know, Brett, I was having big time troubles with arthritis in my spine and my neck, where my colleagues in the orthopedic world and neurosurgery world said, "Dave, you've tried everything. You're on multiple prescription grade anti-inflammatories. You're still having pain. You're having weakness in your extremities. We need to do a fusion in your neck, big operation, and in your lower spine." And you and actually Dr. Glidden also said, "Look, before you do this, will you just do this foundation pack, this 90 essential nutrients?" Right? So the OsteoFX, as you mentioned, the mineral base, the essential fatty acids, and the tangy tangerine. Just do. Well, as you know, Brett, and some of our listeners know and viewers, I was fully convinced this would not work. But it was my last ditch before I went under the knife. Well, I was on it for a month. And within a month, I was off all prescription grade anti-inflammatories, off Motrin, and off Tylenol. I was asymptomatic and able to do things I hadn't been able to do without pain or discomfort for years. There were 2 other things that happened. 3 other things. 1, I noticed I was sleeping better, and I didn't really think I wasn't sleeping that bad, but in retrospect, I was. 2, I had high blood pressure. All of a sudden, I no longer needed a prescription grade antihypertensive. And 3, I found, and I actually didn't notice this so much, but I was out to dinner with our kids, and our kids said, "So Dad, last couple times we've gone out to dinner, you've now taken home a doggy bag. You never used to do that. Are you feeling okay?" "Yeah." And so I had a good appetite, but I found that my appetite was diminished a bit, right? So, and in medical school, Brett, I never had any exposure to any of that other than about 5 minutes of nutrition about, the hazards of vitamin A if you have too much of it or something. If you eat a polar bear liver, for God's sake. I mean, that was the extent of the nutrition support. So then the question is, Brett, you had great results. I've had great results. You've now helped many thousands of people over the years. So for our listeners, nutrition-wise and on the herb side, what do they need to do to transform their lives?
Yeah, so it's really easy, and don't complicate things. So keep it really, really simple. And all the hard work and lifting has already been done with the research, the 26,000 autopsies, the 10 million blood chemistries already been done. So the first and foremost that an individual needs to do to take control of their own health is first identify the inflammatory foods. We do not want to consume these foods. The great thing is on Operation Freedom Health, right at the top, we have the 12 bad foods list. There's a nice, really good video. It's really short, about 15 minutes, that will explain why we need to eliminate these foods. Now, it's really important when we're thinking of holism, whole body therapy here. It's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. So it's eliminating bad stuff in and great supplementation. Mm-hmm. So we can have all the great supplementation, but if we continue eating bad foods in, that is going to outweigh the great supplementation. Mm-hmm. So think about this. If I have a boat and I'm patching holes on one side, but I'm poking holes on another side, eventually that boat's going to sink, right? It doesn't recover. So the first and foremost, identify the 12 bad foods. We've already done that for you, and we got a great video. So we eliminate that, and then all you do is you take the foundation pack. It is a great way to start your journey. You take the foundation pack and you take it for 30 days. You see how far you bounce back from whatever it is. Maybe you're low in energy and you need more energy. Maybe your sleep pattern's all messed up and you're not sleeping so well. These are all things we see that people get corrected really, really quickly on this product. The other thing that's really good, and unlike any other foundation products I've seen out there, is when you take it, you feel it. And you usually feel it in 24, 48 hours. And what you're going to start seeing is you're going to see more energy throughout the day. Your mood swings are no longer. You're going to be happier. Stress can just bounce right off you. Your sleep pattern improves dramatically. You're going to sleep through the night. You sleep better. When you wake up, you're going to feel refreshed, ready to tackle the world. You're not going to need that cup of coffee to get your day started, because when you wake up, you're going to feel good. Now, if you want that cup of coffee because it tastes good, that's fine. But we don't want you to be dependent on that coffee anymore. And this is just the foundation. That's why it's called the Healthy Foundation Pack. This is the foundation, the brick and mortar for your healthy body, and it works really good. Now, if you have certain areas where you're like, hey, I need a little kidney support, well, this is when the herbs fall into place. And we have a great product called kidney and bladder support. So if you're a little worried about some kidney problem, you then have the foundation pack. The foundation is always. And then you can add the kidney and bladder support. If you're a little bit worried about your heart and want to give the heart a little bit more support, you have the foundation, and then we have a great herbal product called Herbal Health. And you can take that, and so on and so forth. And if, everyone seems to be so stressed out, so burned out right now, and we need a little extra, what that does is that just knocks the crap out of your adrenal glands. So we have a great product called Adrenal Health to give extra support along with the foundation. And if you do these simple steps, I guarantee within 90 days, you are going to feel better and more ready to tackle the world.
And that's exactly what I do. I stick with the foundation pack and the adrenal support because, as we all know, stress is off the charts, right? The world is one huge dumpster fire. Okay, all these products, all this information available on OperationFreedomHealth.com. And Brett, one of the things we've done, because Bidenomics has been so detrimental to folks' economic bottom line, one of the things that you've done is we have a discount for those folks who go to the site. When they check out, right, they put for the discount code FREEDOM, correct?
Yep.
And what do they get for that?
They get 10% off their whole order. So whatever they order, they're going to get 10% off because we want you to feel healthy and at the best possible costs. And trust me, we try to do everything to keep these costs down, even though in the last 4 years, the cost has been just outrageous. And the supply chain has been outrageous too. So it's both things that we're battling, and we're trying to take that extra stress off you at Operation Freedom Health.
I'd like to thank you, Brett Bashawati, for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. OperationFreedomHealth.com. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today. OperationFreedomHealth.com.